Okay, today, boys and girls, we'll be starting our unit on everyday structures and materials by reading one of my favorite stories called The Three Little Pigs. How many of you have read this story before? Great! If you're not familiar with it, you will soon find out how this story connects to objects and materials. Before reading this story, we'll talk about the difference between materials and objects. Materials are what objects are made of, and objects are things that can be seen or touched. For example, your classroom desk is an object. A good example of a material would be wood, which your desk is made of. Okay, so now we're going to make a chart of materials and objects. What other objects and materials are you familiar with in the classroom or at home? Great work, everyone. Now I'll begin reading the story of the Three Little Pigs. I will pause to ask you guiding questions throughout the story. Okay, so now as your assessment piece, you're going to sort objects into what material they're made of. So plastic, glass, wood, metal, and yeah. Math lesson 1. The focus on our lesson today, boys and girls, will be on two-dimensional shapes. Raise of hands, how many of us are familiar with two-dimensional shapes? So quite a few of us. Okay, so let's review what a two-dimensional shape is. So what do you already know about two-dimensional shapes? Can you give any examples or describe what they look like? Two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes. Some examples of two-dimensional shapes that you're already familiar with are circles, squares, triangles, and rectangles. So first, we're going to start by reviewing the attributes of these shapes. There are defining attributes and non-defining attributes. Attributes are characteristics or properties of an object, such as color, size, or shape. Today, we'll be focusing on shape. Okay, so first, boys and girls, I'm going to start by drawing a shape on the board, and I want one of you to tell me what is the name of the shape that I've drawn on the board. Good. And it is a triangle. And what attributes do we know about triangles? Triangles have 3 sides and 3 vertices. Okay, awesome job, grade 1s. So now let's move on to our next shape. What is the next shape I've drawn on the board? A circle, correct. And what attributes do we know about circles? Right, they have no sides and no vertices. They are round. Okay, now let's go on to the third shape. What is the next shape I have drawn on the board? Right, a triangle. And what attributes does a rectangle have? Right, it has 4 sides and 4 vertices, but they are not all equal. Okay, and finally, the last shape we'll be reviewing today is a square. What attributes does a square have? Right, it has 4 equal sides and 4 vertices.